Pool life, it's the only life we know. Pool life, when you pat it in the hole. Pool life, it's the Karlboyes show. Pool life, when you get that lucky roll.
Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I just want to say thanks to everybody who's watching the videos, sharing the videos and commenting. I'm trying to answer all the questions. Hope I've not missed anybody out. I've seen a lot of requests in the comment section about tips and how you hold the cue and all this. I promise I will get these videos recorded and uploaded to the channel as soon as possible. Somebody has asked me and they've said that they keep making a mistake from the 8 to the 9 ball and not getting good position on the 9 and missing and losing a lot of racks. So in today's lesson, we're going to cover the 5 common errors from the 8 to the 9 ball.
I ran up a check, I might do it again. Enemies close, had me thinking they're friends. 10 toes down, I'll be free until the end. Crib outside the city, I don't feel safe in my hands. Took so many years, I'm just waiting for the wins. I'm in debt to no one but the one who took my sins. I do it for real, there's no reason to pretend. If I do it once, I do it again. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing.
We've all done it. We've got to the 8 ball. We've potted the 8, we've not got quite as good as we'd like on the 9, and we've hacked at the 9 ball. I've done it, I'm sure you guys have done it, and we'll keep doing it. Hopefully, after today's lesson, you will improve and not do it as much. Here we have a situation that I've set up on the pool table from the 8 to the 9. Many people, all you guys will have done this. You pot this 8, and this is what I see a lot of you do. You pot it and you come down the table trying to get on the 9 using one rail. Not easy to judge the speed. In this instance, judged it all right. What can happen is you land short, leave yourself that little 50-yard 9 ball that we don't like, and then a lot of the times we overrun it and we land a little bit too low and leave a thing cut. We've got the side on angle of the table here so we can really see what I mean. We need to land the cue ball in this circle. Going off the one rail, trying to judge speed to land it in this circle is not easy. Some days you're going to land it in there, some days you're not. Now, the beauty of this is, we're going to obviously play the 9 ball in this pocket. The 8 ball's further that side, so that makes sense. We need to look for this big channel in between these lines is very, very good. That's where we want to be. So playing off the one rail to land in a circle, not easy to do. If we play off 2, we're coming down the channel and we can't go wrong. So don't play it off the 1. Get used to spinning the cue ball in off the 2, a little bit like this. By the way, I hit that really terrible, nearly missed the ball. But you can see how bad I hit it and I'm still landing on this channel. Now if I throw another ball up just to demonstrate again, obviously I'm rushing this and all sorts. But the point being is I'm rushing it. I've not really been playing today. I'm as good as an amateur these days, but you can see because I'm using the second rail coming into the line of the shot, I've got so much more room for error. I know what you're thinking. Why not draw it back off this rail? Well, let me tell you, sometimes the players will play it. Again, depending on what level you're at, they're going to be a bit more consistent. But here's the thing, playing it off the 2 rails, which I just have, you're just letting the cue ball do the work. It's naturally, with a bit of right spin, right English, it's just naturally going off there. Now, if you're playing it with left, and you just roll the ball, yeah, see how it comes down centre of the table like so. So what that means is I have to play a bit of a low left stun shot, which means under pressure, the cue ball can get a little bit lost like so. Guys will play that sometimes, but just be aware you can easily lose the cue ball. You're still coming into a channel, but you're making the cue ball do more work. You're playing an execution instead of a natural. Here's our next situation. We've come a little bit too far on the 8. It's not straight, just off straight, but again, it's a tricky little shot to get on the 9. A lot of amateurs will do this in this instance. They think they've got the right angle and they'll pot it, and the natural angle is running it into this rail and too long. So the angle is not quite there. So if you was to play it that way, again, it's a tricky shot. You've got to try and like punch, stun, run through to create an angle. Very difficult. Stun, run through video will be coming soon, so just be patient with me on that. We can't play it one rail because we're hitting it too hard to get the cue ball down table. It's about trying to look for the natural angles. When you stood behind the shot, you need to be thinking, what is the easiest way for me to get on the 9 without playing an execution? Where if your backhand's a bit shaky, you're not going to quite deliver the cue as smooth as you would like. So in this instance, we're playing, unlike before, we're playing low left, stunning the cue ball, off this rail now and coming down here. This is purely because we're just off straight now. We don't have a big angle. But again, we're still looking for this big channel of area to land in. So, there you can see just a bit of left coming down. You will play this shot 9 times out of 10 and always leave yourself a shot on the 9 ball. Another situation here. This is our third situation of the video. We've not quite landed on the 8 ball as we wish, but it's not a problem, still relatively easy. But I've seen amateur pool players do this every single time. You get down and they pot the 8, go off one rail, and they under hit it. Woo! Watch the cue. And they don't get on the 9, they leave it here, they end up trying to play a thin choppy into the middle or a thin one into the corner. That's because it's not easy to judge the pace, right? We're playing an execution shot and we're working a bit too close to the 9. So I'm going to show you a shot here what I think is very effective, and I think a lot of the pros would play it this way. We're going to play it high left. We'll put a cue ball up here just so you can see, and we're going to use the second rail. So again, we're not coming up here, a bit too close to the 9 where it can stop here and run too far. Once it's at this bottom rail, it's going to spin off this rail and it's going to start tracking up here into a massive area. And it just means you can hit the cue ball with a bit more authority and not quit on it. So there we go, it's hitting the second rail and it's coming up fine. And that just shows you, again, I'm just diving in and playing the shots. I'm not warmed up or anything. And that proves it that you can still hit it not as clean as you would wish and still leave yourself a shot. Which means under pressure, when your backhand shaky Stevens, it's going to help you improve your game 100%. Our next scenario, we see it a lot on a pool table with landing in this position. If the cue ball was a little bit to the left, we can just pot the 8 and draw it back and we're fine. But we've landed here. Big no-no. We get down and we're trying to pot this 8 and come across here to land on the 9. But when playing this shot, this may happen. Cue ball comes over and we scratch. And because of the scratch, I often see this happening. The cue ball gets lost, it comes over near the rail, and another thing, you can pull out of the shot and land in the centre of the table. So I want you to play this shot 3 rails. It might sound like it's a harder shot, but it makes so much more sense. The more practice you put in and the better you improve, you'll get this shot nailed down, no problem. And it takes away the scratch, and it takes away not delivering the cue through more positive and under hitting or over hitting the shot. And we're coming in at that better angle into the channel what we want. So we're playing it with right hand spin. And we're spinning it round. Now look at the cue ball just comes up into this big area. You know, tomorrow I could play it and land here. The day after I could land here. Just feels like a better shot. I don't feel like I'm going to quit on the shot. And I'm not scared of the shot. This also comes up a lot in 9-ball pool. What shot do we play here? Here's what I've seen over the years of us amateurs. Somebody wrote in the comments, I'm now an amateur. That is a fair point. So I'm going to say us amateurs. They're thinking, oh, how do I play this? Again, we're going to play for the 9 in this pocket. We've got too much angle. We're not going to, we could spin it round, but, you know, that's adding, it's fraught with danger and it's not easy. Obvious shot is to come over this side of the table, but what do we do? Here is what not to do. Try and under-hit the shot and try and land it in this gap. Don't try and just land the cue ball in this gap because you'll often make this mistake. And you'll under-hit it because you're trying to land the cue ball into an area which is a field shot, execution. Okay. In your mind, try and get used to hitting the second rail, this rail. And then if the cue ball's up here, if it's here, if it's back here, just get it into your mind, potting the ball and coming off the 2 rails. This is your second rail. So we're down. And we're coming off the second rail. A little bit too close to the rail, but you're going to perfect that shot. You're going to just get used to coming off this rail nice. You're not flirting with danger. That is a big shot in the world of 9-ball pool. It comes up a lot, not just from the 8 to the 9, but in all instances. Really get dialed down on that shot. It's an important shot. That is 5 instances where I've seen amateur pool players make them mistakes. Guys, you need to look for the channels. Don't be playing shots where it feels like a field shot and the cue ball can get lost on you. It might seem like it's a harder shot, but percentage wise it's going to be a better shot for you and you're not going to mess up from the 8 to the 9. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you've not subscribed, please subscribe. It really helps. Share, hit the bell and whatever else it is YouTube wants us to do. Until next time.